Hello, hello. How's it going, chat? Can you hear me? All right, we are back for another exciting week, and we've got ourselves a nice little Max Patch coming along here. And it is Friday night, and I am feeling all right. I hope you are too. Let's see. I'm going to make sure I got all my windows in order. Make sure we got some sound here. Give me a second to collect myself. And yep, cool. So as you can see here, we're going to start off with a bit of a treat this week. I've been, Hunk! Hello, Teeth Engraved! Thanks for joining us tonight. I wanted to, you know how I've been rambling at you guys every week about how I want to see what you're working on, and I want this to be a cool space where we can all share things that we've learned, things that we've found, and I'm going to start us off this week with a cool thing that I picked up that I think is going to be super useful, and it kind of ties in with what we're going to be building today, too. So this is called the Velocity mod. I picked it up for $5 from Landon of the Guitar, and super cool dude. And I let him know that we were going to be showing it this week because I want to be able to share neat things with you guys. So I've thrown it into, or rather I'm about to throw it into our patch here because this week is all about velocity. Yes, velocity. Now I've immediately lost it. Where did it go? Let's go find it, chat. Let's see. So, it lives over in the Max MIDI effects. Here we go. Velocity mod. I'm going to throw it here with our generate thingy. So generate is the synth we were using last time. Let's not jump ahead of ourselves too fast here. We've got our cool PS3 controller Max Patch here. We are indeed getting data. I have already set these control outs and note outs to all send to the IAC driver bus, which last time we mapped to control a couple of things in this synth called generate, and hopefully it's still working. Yep, when I press the X button we get a note. And we can modify it with our left joystick. And we've got a different note on each button. So, I have velocity set to one number here right now, controlled by this slider. And I guess I want to talk for just a second about the difference between velocity and volume. I'm going to step into my teaching shoes here for just a second for anybody who isn't super familiar with this yet. Velocity is how hard you are striking a key. So it's only triggered once at the beginning of a note. When the note is turned on, it's turned on with this information. It gets a note number, which is what pitch you hear. It gets a velocity, which corresponds to how loud the note is. And then you have to tell the note where to go. And that is a MIDI port, which is selected here, or over here if you're sending controller data, but we're focused on notes right now. And beyond a port, you would select a channel. Each port has 16 channels, and right now we're defaulting to channel 1. Now, volume, on the other hand, is continuous. Volume is more like these gain sliders that you see in live. So if I'm playing a note and it's triggered, while it's playing, I can control how loud the note is by moving this slider. That's volume, or gain. But velocity is only triggered once at the time that I press the key. Hello there, Beard Pills! Thanks for joining us. We're just doing a rundown of the difference between velocity and volume and kind of what we've done so far. So yeah, velocity is when I hit the note. Volume is controlled afterwards in a continuous way. Now, this Velocity mod plugin that I found is super cool because it lets you actually map General Kenobi. Hello there. I do try to be a bold one for you guys. But yeah, Alright, back to business. So this velocity mod thingy that I want to show off here lets you map velocity to things that aren't just loudness. And I think that's going to tie right in with our max patch. At least that's the hope if I don't fuck things up. So this is easy to use. Much like the LFO, you just click map, and then you can pick... Oh, wait, first we have to use configure here to make these knobs available. So I'm going to click configure, and let's pick something to map velocity to. What can we hear? I don't think we've done animate yet. Let's see how that sounds. Ooh. That does things. Shape. I like animate. Let's do that. So... Unless you guys want me to map it to something else, feel free to jump in here. But I think that'd be kind of neat. Let's start there. So if I click map, and oh my god, I'm turning myself in circles. Configure. Animate. Alright, now we can animate things. And then I would click map. And then I would move this around. And there you can see that, I'm going to put that down for a second. That this now is saying that it's assigned to the parameter wave folder animate. This is just a display here, I believe, so if I wanted to see what track I was talking about, see it says this track. If I say device, it says it's the synth generate. I think that's a really awesome little display here, and points to the quality of these devices. So I want all MIDI notes to affect this parameter, so I'm going to turn this on. You can assign individual notes so that maybe only your root note of your chord actually affects this. Oh, Twitch is acting up on your iPad, Beard Pills? Well, hopefully it'll sort itself out. My brain tends to act up from time to time. Hopefully it'll sort itself out, too. I have to fix my chair here. Okay, there we go. Don't want you guys seeing my messy room. So, now we've got velocity assigned here, and I'm going to use a keyboard for the moment, but then we're going to use our PlayStation controller. Yeah, we're getting MIDI from all ends, so this should work too. Yep. If you look down here, when I click a note on, you can see that this slider jumps and shows my velocity. What? And when I turn the note on, you get a big number, and when I turn the note off, it goes back to 0. Now what I think is really cool is that you can also assign glide between these values. So you can do note on, note off, or both. And let's give it a nice long glide of a couple seconds. And you can even tempo sync that, which I also think is an extremely rad feature. Oh boy, that's taking some CPU. Come on, computer. You can do it. This is just because I'm streaming at the same time. There we go. Oh no. Yeah, this is seriously just Twitch messing with my computer. You got it working, Beard Pills? That's good. Now it's messing up on my computer. Let's see. Bet if I freeze some tracks. I'm not really using these right now. Freeze tracks. Ugh, yeah, getting some clicks and pops here. Oh well. Let's see. Anyway, you can use this with anything. We can come back to it. I think it's a rad little concept here, and if I'm going to throw this link into chat, and all of Landon's devices seem extremely well built and very useful. There's a ton of them. I'm also excited to try out the Catapult 5X and the Random LFO. Probably going to do a couple more of these on stream. Yeah, let me throw this into chat for you guys. Beard Bill says, I think I'm to blame. It wouldn't have started messing up if I hadn't joined. No, no, no. It is just the stream gods being mean to us today. It's okay. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's definitely not the device. I played with this before and it is seamless. It's just that I'm trying to stream at the same time. Well. Let's get on to our patch, shall we? So, I've been thinking about the ideas that you guys came up with last time. One of which was, let's jump into our notes file here. So I had initially thought of assigning velocities to low, medium, heavy, punch, and kick, and having 2 separate notes. Teeth and Grave suggested a pentatonic note where we can select a scale and a root note and then be able to use your right hand buttons to play them. And Beard Pills also had an idea that we could be able to use the trigger buttons to control velocity. And I'm thinking that I'm going to do kind of a combination of those. And we're going to see what we can do with the trigger buttons and if we can get... Eventually we're going to see if we can get pressure from them. But for right now, instead of having one trigger button with pressure that controls how loud a note is, I'm kind of thinking we're going to start with the left trigger 2 button. When you click it, it's going to make a note louder, and the left trigger 1 button, when you click it, it's going to make the note quieter. And from there, what I can do, next time probably, is we'll use the left-right buttons or the up-down buttons to be able to increment that, so that if you hold, say if you hold down for a second, then you hit square, then you're going to get a quieter note than if you just played square in the middle. So I'm thinking if you don't press anything, your velocity is kind of middle of the road. If you press the loud button, then your velocity gets louder. If you press the quiet button, your velocity gets quieter. We need some way to modify the velocity of our notes. That is the main thing. So that's what we're going to start with. Alright, let's see. So L1 and L2 are coming in here, and they are just 1 and 0. So right now we don't have pressure, but that's okay. Eventually we can do something like what we did with the joysticks, where we are incrementing left or right, or up or down, in order to control velocity in a more real-time way. So... And what I'm hoping is that when we have our velocity coming out here, it'll be going through our velocity mod device and doing neat things. So let's start by grabbing these 2 number boxes. Or I guess we'll just put a send over here. Let's do that. So we're going to say send and call this one L1. And we're going to do a send and call this one L2. All I want to do is have things get quieter when we get an L1 and get louder when we get an L2, and go back to the middle if I am not pressing either of them. So we have a well-defined goal. This might not be where we end up with at the end of the day, but that is the main programming lesson I hope to impart for today, is do things one bit at a time. You'll hear that from me a lot. So, today's task, L1 equals a quieter note, L2 equals a louder note. And then we have 6 notes available on our right hand, We can treat it like a 6-button fighter. We'll have square, triangle, R1, and we'll have X, circle, R2. And eventually being able to assign those to a scale would be awesome. The other thing I'm kind of thinking of, I'll just ramble for a quick second, is I think it would be super cool if you can assign these notes, either just by picking them on the keyboard or by picking a scale, and then up, down on the D-pad, not on the joystick, lets you go up or down an octave. Left, right lets you control how loud your note is. And then perhaps L1 and L2, we can eventually make 2 more notes, then we have a full octave. 7 notes and then the upper note. Then we have 2 joysticks for controls, and each of these joysticks lets you click to get a signal as well. And I'm kind of thinking that one of those could turn a toggle mode on and off, and the other one could just go into some kind of a menu mode, so if we have other modes that we want to add, then we can select them that way. Or other scales, or things like that. But for right now, one bit at a time, L1 is going to be a quieter note, and L2 is going to be a louder note. That is today's mission. That is the bonfire that we wish to hit, if we're going to use Dark Souls terminology. So I've 2 sends here. Receive. Receive. Let's go find a corner over here that is not yet occupied. Alright. So I'm going to start off with a select 1 and 0 for each of these. We get a 1 when it's on, we get a 0 when it's off. And I think what we want to do is take whatever the velocity in this slider is. Oh, hey, Kunpei-chan, thanks for tuning in. Oh, that's all right. You're out and running errands. Nice to have you lurking. Lurking is always welcome. I want to be like the Bob Ross of programming. Y'all are welcome to just chill and listen, and maybe you'll learn a few things. And welcome to participate as much as you want as well. It's lovely to have you joining us. So, we are in the process of making these notes more interesting. We are playing them with a PlayStation controller, as you can see, since you just joined. And I don't get tired of that. I love this project. This is going to be super cool. So yeah, when we play L1, when we press it down, we're going to get a 1. And I guess what we want to do is just take whatever value is coming out of this slider and multiply it by something. Let's say multiply it by 2, so it'll get twice as loud when we hit L2, and let's divide it by 2 when we hit L1, so it'll be either twice as quiet or twice as loud. And we can still set kind of a default velocity over here. Alright, everybody with me? Let's do it. So, thinking. So this is how we turn it off. We're sending a 0 for the velocity whenever we release one of the note buttons. So we don't want to conflict with that. So I think we're pretty safe to just send a number directly in the middle here. Let's do that by... This might not be the cleanest, but another little programming thing, regardless of the language, is just get something that works first. Don't worry about making it clean and efficient immediately, because you're gonna easily paint yourself into a corner that way. Don't try and do everything perfect the first time through. We can always refactor and make things better. So I'm gonna say send multiplier. And this is going to go to all of our notes for right now. In fact, yeah, that's probably what we want in the future, because whichever note we're playing, we just want to be able to have a modifier to make it loud or quiet. So I'm going to say send multiplier. And if it's L1, we're going to say trigger a 0.5. And we want that on a 1. And on a 0, we want to remember that we want to change it back to multiplying by 1. Because if we multiply by 1, we get the same value that we had. 1 times anything is itself. Okay. And we want to do the same thing over here, except instead of 0.5, we're going to go 2. Kunpei-chan, I hope I pronounced your name right. I'm just terrible at pronouncing names, and if I messed it up, then I apologize. Let's see. Yep, alright, so these are all going to the same place, and now we just need to receive them over here. So we need 4 of these guys. And we should also change this into a B-patcher at some point, so that we are not having to copy and paste things all the time. But that also goes under the category of just make it work first. We can pretty it up later. Teeth Engraved says, your iPad's almost out of batteries? Oh yeah, all sorts of technical difficulties tonight. It's all good. So we want to... Oh, we don't want to send our multiplier directly in there. What we want to do is actually multiply it. Can't forget that. So we need a times tilde. Oh, not a tilde. Tilde means audio. This is just a regular multiplication. So regular old times. But we do want to specify that we want decimal points. So I'm going to put a 1 point right there. And we're safe to use the right inlet because we don't want to actually trigger any output from here until we play the note and actually trigger the velocity that is stored in this slider. So I'm going to take the slider and put it in the left here and then send this into our velocity. And here we're fine to then convert back into integers because MIDI is dumb and only understands integers. But I didn't want to round it until then. So now I'm going to copy this and put it over here. And I'm going to cross my fingers that this works. I think it should be cool. We're going to need 2 more for these other 2 notes. Boop! This guy goes in here, and this guy goes in here. And this guy oops, I already got one. This guy goes in here. Nope, not in there. This guy goes in here. And this guy goes over here. Beard Bill says plug it in. Teeth Engraved, my charger fried a couple days ago. Gotta grab a new one. Yep, that's the way it goes. Everything gets fried in the end. That's just life, I guess. Alright. Cool. So. Okay, Teeth Engraved's at 1%. F in chat for Teeth Engraved. Can I get some F's in chat? Goodbye. We'll miss you. Oh boy. My battery's running a little low too. Just like in my head though. My computer's plugged in. F in chat. Alright, let's see if this works before Teeth Engraved goes away. Here we go. I'm gonna play a note. I'm gonna play a quieter note. Oh yeah, look. Okay. I think we're good. Look over here. This is the note I'm playing. So when I play it without touching anything, we get velocity 82. When I hit L1, we're at velocity 41. So it's quieter. And when I hit L2... Oh, it's still at 82. Something's funky with the other one. Teeth Engraved, honk to you as well. Goodbye. Oh, okay. You guys are the best. Let's see. All right, why isn't the other one working? Any guesses? Guesses from chat? All right, I don't know either. Let's debug this. And that is another reason why I do this stream. Debugging is an art form of its own. And I hope that just by watching me get my hands dirty and fuck things up, you can learn how you can then unfuck things yourself, and it's not that scary. Scary for me because you're all watching, but I'm slowly getting used to it. So let's see if this much is working. Are we indeed receiving L2? And when we get a 1, when I press this button, this bang should do a thing. And it's not. Okay, so something is broken in the chain over here. Our sends and receives are connected. Did I put this into the wrong button? Yep. Look, here's L2. That's coming out of this outlet here. Yep. And I plugged into here, which is actually R2. See? Alright, not so bad. I got the wrong button. I bet this will do it. Ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. Yep, okay. We now have a bang. So that should be triggering a 2. Nice! And that puts our velocity at 164. Which is above the maximum. But that's okay, because MIDI is stupid and we'll just ignore that and clip it to a 127, I think. I suppose it would be good practice to clip it ourselves. I guess. But okay, we have the basics here. We can have 2 buttons that are like our loud and our quiet buttons. And next time what we can do is take the D-pad keys and make that be based on a timer, is what I'm thinking. So I guess real quick, I'm going to say clip from 0 to 127, just to limit our range. We should put this right here. Yep. So now we're in the cleanup phase. We have something that works. We want to make it a little better. And pretty soon we're going to want to make this a B-patcher so that I can stop copying and pasting. There's a programming technique for you. Dry. Don't repeat yourself. That is something to learn that is language universal. Doesn't matter what you're programming in. The less copying and pasting, the better. Because programmers are lazy. But also because programmers are human more than that, and humans make errors. I could have just as easily not connected this up correctly in any one of these 4 locations. And fuck that, I want to be able to only do this once. So, I'm going to comment this as well. So this is the quiet button. And this is the... Oops. This is the loud button. Now then, I think I'm going to take 2 seconds and I'm going to restart live because this is being a little fiddly. Save. Yes, Beardfills, dry equals less bugs. And we do want less bugs. Dry also means easier to fix bugs. Bugs are kind of inevitable. That's something I've come to accept. You're always going to have bugs. Like, nothing is ever perfect. But when you only have to fix it in one place, it gets easier. Did I open the right one? I guess we'll see. Yep. Cool. Let's try a different synth for the hell of it. And let's get a little crazy, like Bob likes to say. Let's add 2 more buttons. I want to use the R1 and R2. Easily done. I do, and this is a good way to test if we're ready to have a B patcher. I believe, so I just copied and pasted 2 of these, and I think all I need to do is change the name of this receive to match the R1 and R2 sends that we already have. When you're about to dry something up, you have to see what needs to change between each instance of it. So we're going to say receive R1 right here, get rid of that, and receive R2 over here, and get rid of this. We still have to set a key on our keyboard and a velocity. Let's use a high C. And we have to set a MIDI port. Note number, velocity, port. And channel is going to default to 1 again. So with any luck, this should give us now 6 notes to play with. Light, medium, heavy, punch, and kick. And yeah, time for a new synth. Let's pick a new synth. One that's a little less heavy on our CPU, I think, chat. What would be fun? What do we got? I got lots of stuff. Let's do something from Arturia. Let's try the Jupiter 8. How about that, chat? So we should still be receiving our MIDI. We'll just have to remap our controls to something. Let's see what this sounds like. And let's see if we are getting sound. Got my MIDI input enabled. And let's hit the X button. Yep, we are. Let's pick another preset. That's a good preset. Fat and square. That's me. Yep. Yeet. Thank you, Beard Pills. Yeah, we're gonna yeet that other synth for the moment. Yeah, that's fun. Not bad, not bad. Fire starter. Oh, it's got an arpeggiator on it. Yeah, let's do it, sure. Let's play with this one. Okay, so first of all, let's see if our velocity stuff is working. So if I go L1, it should be quieter. And L2 should be louder. Not hearing too much of a difference, honestly, but that might be the patch. Let's try pulling the velocity mod device in, and that should show us if we are indeed getting different velocities. So that was in Max for Live velocity mod. Here we go. So what would be something fun to map that to? Probably a filter. Let me put my controller down here a sec. Do. That's a high pass filter. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I like that one. Yeah. All right, let's configure. I think, yeah, let's grab that guy. Sweet. Now I'm gonna say map to this. All right, cool. I'm gonna say all MIDI notes. Turn that off. And let's just test it. So this is just coming from my keyboard. Oh, my other screen stole my synth. Wait, come back. Hold on. Too many things. Too many things. I just want to see the velocity at the same time as the knob. I can't make this Jupiter synth smaller, really? Alright, whatever. Okay, yeah. Okay, that's doing its thing. Nice. So that's just playing from my keyboard, and you can see the velocity mod making that filter jump in a cool way. Let's see if I can add a little glide. Yeah. Nice. So every time I add a new note, then the arpeggiator keeps going, but the velocity of that new note changes the value of the filter. Sick. All right, let's see if we can do it with our PlayStation controller. Beardbill says, Jupiter Synth too chonky for its own good. It is thick, as the kids say. All right, so let's see if our velocity is working. Well, first let's see if our notes are working. Yep, okay. And look here! Oh my goodness, I think it is working! Chat, luck is finally with us. Look. Okay. You can see the slider moving. Yep. And now I'm gonna hit L2 and hopefully this should get louder. Yep, all the way up to 127. Nice. And now I'm going to let go of L2, and it should get a little bit more midway when I play a new note. Yep, sick. And L1 should make it quieter. Yep. Oh, you guys, it's working! Oh my god! Cool! Alright. Let's just map our joystick to something real quick so that we can get the full experience. But yeah, now we can see our thing working with the velocity mod. That was awesome. Yeah, I swear he's not paying me, but I really like this device. I think it's really cool, and all of his stuff seems like it's worth checking out. Let's see. What else do we want to fuck with a... Let's configure. And let's find some more knobs. There's that high pass. Ooh, that's a cool one. Cross? Okay, I like that. How about the arpeggio rate? Yeah, that'll be fun. Let's do those two. All right, so that's gonna be what our left one does. Beard pills, nice. Thank you. Glad you're enjoying it. Okay. Brain hit. Oh, I hit something. Oh well. Configure. Oh, thank you. That was just the screen again. All right. Configure. We were gonna want arpeggio rate, and we are gonna want cross. Okay. Now we're gonna jump over to our max patch and make sure we're sending controller data to IAC bus. We are. All right. Now we just go to MIDI map. Oh my god, Jupiter, get out of my way. MIDI map. And we're gonna map the... Let's do ARP rate. Okay. That looks like that already took CC2. Oh, that's right. We have to... Yeah, that's because this one's flickering a little bit. we're going to need to have a map mode where we turn off our constant polling for data. So I'm going to just temporarily disconnect these and make a note of that in our little notes document. Okay, we're still in map mode. ARP rate. Let's do that as CC2 for X. And let's do the cross for CC1. Let's get out of map mode. And I think this is going to be nifty. We've got velocity going through the velocity mod to the filter cutoff. We've got our left joystick doing ARP rate and cross. And all right, I think we're good. Oh, wait, so I have to actually connect it back up. Oh, wow. Hey, Chad, are you seeing this? That's really bizarre. My mouse is screwing up. Okay, there we go. Okay. Relax, computer. It's okay. Everything's fine. We're just going to connect these up. We're going to save. And we're going to try this again. Sick. How about a loud one? Hey, that's wild. All right. Now we can jam with it. Woo! That's the velocity going to the filter. And the joystick controlling the arpeggio. And our cross. Yeah. Dude, that is cool. That actually feels really good. Everything is working together. We got the velocity mod there. And we've got our joystick. All right. Well now, weird glitches aside, that seems like a good place to put her down. Awesome. I'm going to call that one a stream. Thanks, you guys. Thanks for coming and hanging out. And that was some weird glitching, but hey, we figured it out. And that's my goal with this, is to show that with persistence, you can just figure stuff out, and we will learn together as we go. And this will continue to get cooler and cooler every week, hopefully, as we break more and more things. Let's go raid someone, shall we? Let's see if anybody is online. What do we got? Let's see, I have to go do the Chrome thingy. Who's up? Who's up? Raid channel. Anybody? Hey, cool. Yeah, let's go raid Kung Fu Fruit Cup. I love her. She's doing Ratchet and Clank. Cool, cool. Yeah, thanks again for coming, chat. This has been super fun, and we are making progress. Later on. Yay. Oh, wait. End stream. Bye, guys.